So I love YouTube, and there's no getting around loving YouTube. It's changed my life 100%. I mean, I've kind of told this story before, but I have a little bit of a retirement. It wasn't going to be much, and there'd be a lot of cutting back and not nearly as much travel. I would have really had to slow it down. Now, I'm only a handful of years away from retirement. So, the writing was on the wall where I was going to be financially. YouTube changed all that. I mean, 100% changed where my retirement was going. I mean, I was in the military and I worked for years, but for a lot of that time, I was a stand up comedian and I wasn't paying much into taxes because when you're a stand up comedian, you're not making much money, and it's not like I was ever this high paid stand up comedian. It just, the money was occasional is the best way to put it. It wasn't ever a steady thing. So that means less going in my social security. I didn't have money to put away for, retirement as much as I would have liked to. My wife always worked. And so she has some, we both do. I guess we both do, but it wasn't going to be enough to live comfortably. So YouTube comes along, I start making money, and everything changed. Everything changed. My entire world changed. I went from worrying about money to not worrying about money. Actually, for a couple of years there, I spent money like a drunken sailor. So, yeah, I had to worry about money a little bit. But compared to how it used to be, it's nothing like that. Now, the reason I bring all this up is because I get emails and offers from people and companies all the time to join their network. Join, Rumble or uh, there's so many other ones. In all these up and coming media platforms, they want you to join their thing. Myself, I've got loyalty issues in a good way. I am loyal. If you've done something good for me, I am loyal. I've always been like that. I've had bosses that sucked, but since we were on the same team, I was loyal to that boss and I helped out until they tried to throw me under the bus for something that was their mistake. So I've always been that way. My loyalty is with YouTube. Like I said, it changed my life. They've made so much money for me or gave me the ability to make more money, make the money that I'm making. I've had people say, "Oh, doesn't it piss you off that they take like 40% of your money?" It's not my money. We've gone into a partnership where we split the money 60-40. That's the split for YouTube, by the way. So 60% of the money that is made from my channel, I get. They take their 40%. People act like I'm putting up, like this is a free service. Like YouTube isn't a company and I should get 100% of the money. I don't understand that. And I don't understand how people get to the point of that in their head. This is a partnership. And if it wasn't for YouTube creating this platform and running this platform, I wouldn't be making this money. I wouldn't be making videos. None of us would be here right now, and you guys wouldn't know who the hell I am. That's when you'll get emails like that from people. You'll get comments from people about that doesn't it piss you off they're taking 40% of your money? I'm like, you don't know how the world works, do you? It's like nothing is free. There is always something out there that's going to, share your money coming in. If they were to call up and say, we know we give you 60%, but we're going to need another 25%. Well, that's not the agreement I signed up for. So then I might go, well, you're cutting into my money. But when I started and when you start, you're entering into an agreement with a company, not a public entity, not a government funded platform. You are joining a partnership with a company. That's why they call it creator program, whatever, partner program. That's why when you get monetized, they call it the partner program. Okay. You become a partner with YouTube and you guys start sharing the cash. They're kind enough to only take 40%. I know Twitch and some of the other ones were taking I forget, it was getting weird. They kept raising it. And I think last time, I don't know, I don't even want to get into it. I don't know the exact numbers on it, but I know it's kind of screwy. Facebook gives you money if you're a creator and you put stuff up on their platform. Well, they don't give nearly as much. Matter of fact, I saw one YouTuber that was putting the same videos up on Facebook as he did on YouTube. Now, he did have a bigger following, but he was showing how he got, I mean, he got half the views that he did on his YouTube channel, somewhere about there, but he was only making like 6% the money that he was on YouTube. That's another reason why your loyalty should be to YouTube. I mean, they're going to pay you the most. So when all these other companies come at you and stuff like that, and people talk bad about YouTube, they're not perfect. And, you understand that. I understand that. I'm not under an illusion that this is just some, heaven sent thing. There's a lot of work involved. There's also a lot of money involved, but it is a partnership. You can go to other websites like Rumble, get your message out. They're not going to, that's people always tell me, you ought to upload on Rumble. They don't censor you. Okay. They don't pay me well either. That's just a fact. Instagram doesn't pay you well. TikTok doesn't pay you well. Now, a lot of people make a lot of money because they basically run ads on their channel. They're always shouting out a product or something like that. YouTube is, you can just upload a video and they'll pay you for it. Money will come in if enough people watch it. You're going to get paid for it. And if you make better videos, you're going to get paid more. That's all that really matters. You're going to get paid more and you're probably going to enjoy doing it. Now, if you have some kind of message or you have some axe to grind with the government or, I don't know, you're for trans rights, against trans rights, you're against the cops, you're for the cops, whatever your message is, you want to get out to the world and you don't care about money, head over to Rumble. They're not going to censor you one bit unless, you start making threats or uploading nudity. But as far as freedom of speech, which they don't owe you, YouTube doesn't either. The government owes you freedom of speech. Private companies don't. But Rumble is pretty much a great place for freedom of speech. So, I'd rather stay where the money is, and maybe they don't let me talk about guns or, bringing up the electric lettuce that's legalized everywhere. They do stop you from things like that, but still, at the end of the day, they're paying me a lot more, and they're paying me a lot more not to be like that, okay? Now, you tell me you're going to give me a whole bunch of money every single year, but I can never curse again, I would never curse again if that was the deal. So basically, that's what YouTube is doing. They're saying, don't say these things because we're not going to pay you if you do. You could upload them, just don't make threats, don't, do anything illegal. They'll let you upload whatever you want. You're just not going to get paid for it. So if you think they're censoring you, no, they're making money off you. And if you can't make them money, they're not going to pay you. So that's the other thing. People always, they always block the money on my videos. Talk about better stuff. It almost reminds me of stand-up comedy. You could make more money if you're a clean comic, but some people just want to be a dirty comic. I was a dirty comic, pretty much. Some things I said were very politically incorrect at the time. Actually, they're worse now. But so, my chances of making a lot of money were very slim. I just don't get behind totally clean comedy. I like my comedy a little weird. And that's sort of what you have to remember, that, if you want to make the money, play the game. YouTube has a game. It is a game. Just play it and you'll make more money. Don't get mad at it because you talked about something they don't like you to talk about. Remember, at the end of the day, it's their platform. They can tell you what they don't want you to talk about. It's not freedom of speech when it's a private company. Keep that in mind. But if you talk about the right things, you're going to make money. Okay. Now, this all comes about because I've gotten a flood of emails recently about people, why are you with YouTube? They take half your money. Doesn't piss you off. I got that like 4 times last week. I don't know what the new thing about people saying that to me is, or if it's a new subject or whatever the deal is, but that's coming back around. I heard it a bunch about 4 years ago. Now I'm starting to hear it again. Get emails where people are, they're taking half your money. Why don't you jump on over to this and you could, keep 80% of your money. Well, 80% of, $50 is a lot less than 80% of, $800. That's how I look at it. Sure. They might take a smaller cut, but I'm also not going to get the same money. That's all there is to it. And then the other one is the Rumble thing. You got to get on Rumble. They're not going to stop you from saying things. You can say whatever you want. I say whatever I want. I just don't want to say the things you think I should be saying. That's the deal. So, this is sort of a rant, but it is something you should know about in your YouTube journey, especially in the early days. You're going to get a lot of people that talk bad about YouTube, and a lot of times that will destroy your motivation. Don't let it. Have your mission, have your plan, have your eye on the prize. Don't let those side distractions of people that just hate things to hate things. I like to identify by things I like, not by things I hate. And some people in the world, that's how they identify themselves, as what they hate. The first thing out of those people's mouth is they hate this and they hate that and they hate this. I have a really good friend and she is like that. I can't talk to her all the time because that's how she is, and I've known her for many years. But everything out of her mouth is negative and she hates this, hates that, and I can't stand it. And you're going to get those people and they're going to try and just talk bad about YouTube and, you're making a mistake by being with YouTube. No, you're not. They're making a mistake by not figuring out how to play a game. And if you think you're selling out to the man or something like that, yeah, think whatever you want. I cash in paychecks and you will too. Just keep cashing those checks and ignore them. I mean, they're probably going to be stuck on Rumble or something else making $20 a month. Not you. Keep your eye on the prize and keep going. I mean, your goal is to make a good channel and hopefully make some money. Like I've said before, if your deal is you just want to have fun and hobby, ignore everything I just said. Just you keep doing you. There's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of what I'm focused on is how you guys can make some money. Don't let them distract you. Don't let them kill your motivation. They will suck the life out of you and your channel. I had a guy just the other day mentioned something about how I don't put up chapters. I don't like to put chapters up. They don't work on listicle channels. I make lists and I want people to look, ooh, and keep going. Oh, I didn't know that one. I want them to see that. I don't want them to read my list. Okay. That does nothing good for the channel. So I don't normally put up the chapters because that just gives away the whole video. It's a listicle channel. They don't work that way. They work for other videos. Great. You do that. But chapters, if you're making lists, don't do them. I've watched my money drop. When they first came out, I started putting it on everything and my money just fell through the floor. So I had to quit doing that. You should probably, keep an eye on that in case you're making lists or in case you're making videos that you kind of need people to get to the end. Now, if you're telling a story, then that's good because you don't need chapters. They want to hear the end of the story and they're not just going to brush all the way to the end. Well, some people will, but for the most part, they're going to stay with you. So anyway, this guy's all, what did he say? He just said, oh, you don't care about our time. You just care about making your money. And no, I care about you having fun or enjoying the time you spend watching my video. I'm very concerned about that because then you'll come back for more. But am I concerned about making as much money as I can on YouTube? 100%. That's what we all should be focused on in the world, not just on YouTube. We should all be focused on making as much money as we can. And, you got to balance it. You don't go for the grind and you're just working 24 hours a day just so you can get ahead a little bit. No, that's not a life to lead. But, you should always keep money in the back of your head because without it, you live in a van down by the river. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening to my rant. If you made it this far, I appreciate you so much, more than you'll ever understand. See you tomorrow.